12 days ago, on May 19th, 2026, something happened in America that every single immigrant needs to know about right now. President Trump signed an executive order that directly affects your bank account, and if you have an ITIN number, that special tax number many immigrants use instead of a social security number, this video could be the most important thing you watch this month. So please, stay with me until the end. I am going to break everything down in the simplest way possible, tell you exactly what is happening, what is not happening, and most importantly, what you need to do today to protect your money. My name is your trusted financial guide, and this channel exists for one reason: to help immigrants and students like you understand the American money system that nobody explains clearly. If this is your first time here, welcome. And if you have been here before, you already know. We keep it real, we keep it simple, and we keep it practical. Now let me start with the big question everyone is asking. Is my bank account going to be closed? Let me give you the honest answer. No federal law has been passed that closes your bank account. No bank has received official instructions to shut down immigrant accounts. What happened is that the government signed a new executive order that tells banks to look more carefully at certain customers, specifically people who use an ITIN number and who may not have legal immigration status. That is it. That is what the order actually says. It is not a law yet. The banks are still waiting for official guidance, which is expected around July 2026. So right now, today, your money is still yours. Your account is still open, but you need to take some smart steps immediately, and that is exactly what we are going to talk about. So first, let me quickly explain what this executive order is really about in plain English. The government is asking banks to treat ITIN numbers as a possible red flag, but only when the person using that ITIN does not have verified legal immigration status. Here's the important part. If you have a valid visa, like an F1 student visa, an H-1B work visa, or a green card, you are in a much safer position. Having a valid visa proves you have lawful status in the United States, and the order itself says that falls outside the risk category. So if your documents are current and legal, breathe. You are not the primary target here. But here is what you must do right now, and please write this down. First, do not close your existing bank account. I know that might feel like the safe move, but it is actually the worst thing you can do. Closing your account could hurt your financial history and create new problems. Banks have not even received the final guidance yet, so closing an account right now is reacting out of fear, not logic. Second, keep all your immigration documents updated. Make sure your visa is not expired. Make sure your I-20, your green card, your EAD card, whatever you have, is current. This is your protection. An expired document creates problems even without this new order. Third, if your bank sends you a letter asking for additional documents, do not ignore it. Open it immediately. Respond as soon as possible. In 2026, roughly 3 out of every 10 immigrant clients have already received unexpected requests from banks asking for more paperwork. This is real. If you get a letter, treat it seriously. Fourth, open a second bank account at a different bank. Think of it like a backup plan. If one bank has issues, your life does not stop. Your rent can still get paid. Your groceries can still get bought. 2 accounts at 2 different banks gives you safety. And fifth, and this one is big, start building your U.S. credit history right now. The stronger your financial footprint in America, the safer you are. And I am going to explain exactly how to do that in just a few minutes. Now I want to take a step back and help those of you who are brand new to the American banking system. Because some of you just arrived and you are confused about the basics. And that is completely okay. Nobody teaches this stuff. So let me explain it simply. A bank account in the USA works just like you probably expect. You put money in, you take money out, you pay your bills from it. But the documents you need to open one might surprise you. Most people think you need a social security number to open a bank account in America. That is actually not true. Yes, it helps, but you do not need it. What you can use instead is something called an ITIN, Individual Taxpayer Identification Number. This is a number the IRS gives to people who need to pay taxes in America, but are not eligible for a social security number. And here's the good news. Bank of America, Chase, Wells Fargo, and Citibank all accept ITIN to open a bank account. Even many local credit unions are more flexible than big banks. So what do you actually need to bring to open an account? You need your passport. Foreign passports are accepted. This is your primary ID. You need a second form of ID, which could be your student ID, your foreign driver's license, or your visa document. You need proof of your U.S. address. This can be a lease agreement, a utility bill, or even an official letter from your university showing your campus address. And you need either an SSN or an ITIN number. That is the basic list. Not as scary as you thought, right? One very important practical tip. If you are opening a bank account using an ITIN, you cannot do it online. You must go to the physical bank branch in person. And when you go, bring originals and photocopies of everything. Go on a Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday morning. Those are the quietest days. Avoid Monday mornings when everyone is rushing and the staff is busy. The whole process usually takes between 45 minutes and 2 hours, and if your documents are complete, you can walk out the same day with a debit card in hand. When you get there, open just a checking account, nothing else. Not savings, not a credit card, not investments. Just one simple checking account. Get comfortable with that first. And as soon as you get home, download the bank's app, set up online banking, and turn on transaction alerts so you get a text message every time money moves in or out of your account. Also, and this is very important, set your account to decline transactions when you do not have enough money. Do not let the bank approve purchases you cannot afford and then charge you fees for it. I will explain why in just a moment. Now let us talk about fees, because this is where most immigrants quietly lose hundreds of dollars every year without even realizing it. Banks charge what are called monthly maintenance fees, usually between $10 and $15 per month. That sounds small, but $10 a month is $120 a year. $15 a month is $180 a year. You are literally paying the bank to hold your own money. Now here's the part banks do not volunteer. Most of these fees can be waived. If you set up a direct deposit into your account, or if you keep a certain minimum balance, the fee disappears. But they will not tell you this at the counter unless you ask. So before you open any account, ask the bank representative, "How do I waive the monthly fee?" Ask it directly. Make them answer it. Then there are overdraft fees. An overdraft happens when you spend more than what is in your account, maybe by $5, maybe by accident, and the bank covers it for you. Sounds helpful, right? But then they charge you $32.75 for that help. And if you make 3 small purchases that day without realizing your account is low, they can charge you that fee 3 times. That is almost $100 gone in one afternoon. This happens to immigrants all the time because the overdraft system is confusing and banks do not explain it clearly. The solution is simple. Tell your bank to decline any transaction when you do not have enough money. No approval, no fee. Problem solved. There are also ATM fees. If you use an ATM from a different bank, you can get charged $2 to $5 per withdrawal. That adds up fast. Stick to your own bank's ATMs. And one big one for immigrants specifically, international wire transfer fees. If you send money home to your family using your bank's wire service, banks charge between $15 and $45 per transfer, every single time. There are apps like Wise that charge a fraction of that amount for the same transfer. Use those instead. Your family gets more money, and you keep more money. Win-win. Now let us talk about something that completely shocks almost every immigrant who comes to America: your credit score. You may have been financially responsible your whole life back home. You paid your bills, you saved money, you were a model customer at your bank, and none of that matters here. Zero. Because the American credit system, run by 3 companies called Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, does not talk to foreign credit agencies. Your credit score from your home country does not transfer. A doctor from India, a successful business person from Mexico, an engineer from Pakistan, everyone arrives in America at the same starting point. 0 credit history. Nothing. And this matters enormously because in America, your credit score controls so much of your life. It is a number between 300 and 850. The higher the number, the better. If your score is below 580, most banks will say no to you. If your score is between 670 and 739, most doors open. If you get above 740, you get the best interest rates and the best treatment. And if you hit 800 or above, you are in VIP territory. Here is how it affects your real daily life. When you try to rent an apartment, most landlords want to see a credit score of at least 600 to 650. If you have no score, they might ask you to pay 2 or 3 months of rent up front before they hand you the keys. That can be $5,000 or $6,000 just to move in. With a good score, you pay 1 month. That is it. When you need a car loan with no credit history, banks can charge you interest rates of 18 to 24%. With a good credit score, that same loan might cost you 5 to 7%. On a $15,000 car loan, the difference is thousands of dollars over time. Even your phone plan is affected. Without credit history, you can only get prepaid plans. With good credit, you can get any plan, any phone, no deposit. And some jobs, especially in finance, security, and government, actually run credit checks as part of the hiring process. No credit history could cost you the job offer. So how do you build credit from zero? Let me give you the exact plan. The first thing you need is an ITIN if you do not have a social security number. Apply for it immediately after you arrive. The process takes 9 to 11 weeks through the IRS. Do not wait. Apply your first week here. Once you have your ITIN or SSN, your next step is to get something called a secured credit card. A secured card is different from a regular credit card. With a secured card, you deposit your own money, usually $200 to $500, and the bank gives you that amount as your credit limit. So if you deposit $200, you have a $200 limit. You are basically borrowing your own money. But every time you use it and pay it back, the bank reports that to the credit bureaus, and your score starts to build. The best options for beginners are the Discover It Secured Card, the Capital One Platinum Secured Card, and the Citi Secured MasterCard. Now here is how to use this card correctly. Use it for one small purchase every month. Buy a coffee. Pay for your groceries one time, something small. Keep your spending under 30% of your credit limit. So if your limit is $200, never charge more than $60 on it in a month. And then, this is the most important rule. Pay the full balance before the due date, not the minimum, the full amount, every single month, no exceptions. Do that consistently, and after 3 to 6 months, you will get your very first credit score. After 6 to 12 months of doing this right, your score will be somewhere in the 580 to 669 range, which is fair, but it is a real score. It is your foot in the door. After about 12 months of good history, call your bank and ask them to graduate your secured card to a regular unsecured card. Many banks do this automatically. They return your deposit and give you a real credit card. Now you are building real credit and your score will continue to climb. Here is one thing that surprises many people. Never close your first credit card even after you get better ones. The length of your credit history matters. The older your accounts, the better your score. That first secured card you opened with $200, keep it open. Use it once every few months for something tiny. It is silently helping your score just by existing. Let me now share some mistakes that I see immigrants make constantly. Mistakes that are very easy to avoid once you know about them. The first mistake is walking into the first bank they see and opening an account without comparing options. Different banks have very different fee structures. Capital One 360 and Chase Total Checking both have 0 monthly fees if you set up direct deposit. SoFi has no fees at all and even covers small overdrafts. Wells Fargo, on the other hand, can charge $35 every time you overdraft. Research before you commit. The second mistake is going to a bank branch without calling first to confirm they accept ITIN. Some branch employees are not trained on this. You could waste your entire afternoon and be turned away. One phone call before you go saves you all of that frustration. The third mistake, and this one is painful, is applying for multiple credit cards in the same month. Every time you apply for a credit card, the bank runs what is called a hard inquiry on your credit file. Each hard inquiry slightly lowers your score. If you apply for 5 cards in 1 month, your score drops 5 times. Apply for 1 card, wait, be patient. And the fourth mistake that I see all the time is ignoring letters from the bank. Especially right now in 2026, with the new executive order in play, banks are sending requests for additional documentation to many immigrant customers. If you get a letter from your bank, open it that same day. Read it carefully, respond quickly. Ignoring a bank letter is one of the most dangerous things you can do for your financial safety right now. Now, before I finish, I want to say something important. I know this situation feels scary. I know the news makes it sound like every immigrant is about to lose their bank account tomorrow, but that is not what the law actually says. The executive order does not close your account. It does not make your ITIN illegal. It does not allow banks to report you to immigration authorities without a legal process. The Right to Financial Privacy Act still protects your records. And if a bank ever closes your account for any reason, they are legally required to return every dollar of your money to you. The best thing you can do right now, and I want you to remember this, is to be informed, be prepared, and be proactive. Knowledge is your protection. Understanding the system is your power. So here is your action list from today's video. Do not close your existing bank account. Make sure all your immigration documents are current and not expired. Open a second account at a different bank as a backup. If your bank sends you any letter or documentation request, respond immediately. Apply for your ITIN if you do not have one yet. Do not wait. And start building your credit history today, even if you start with just a $200 secured card and 1 coffee purchase per month. That is it. That is the plan. Simple, clear, and something you can start doing today. If this video helped you, please share it with every immigrant you know. Share it with your classmates, your coworkers, your family members who just arrived, because this information could literally save someone's financial life. Hit the like button if you learned something new today, and subscribe because every week I am here giving you the real information about money in America that nobody else explains this clearly. I will see you in the next video. Take care of yourselves and take care of your money.